Hey everybody, it's Tommy Canale and welcome to a bonus episode of Before the Lights podcast, a show to find out how those in sports, music, and entertainment made their mark. Please go to our website, beforethelightspod.com. Over there, you can go to all the episodes. You can get show notes. If you'd like to reach out to us and send us an email, there's a contact page just for that. And you can click the link to become members of our Patreon member community. Also, follow us on Instagram at Before the Lights Podcast. And if you would do me a favor, head over to Apple Podcast, rate and review the show. 5 stars, nice comments are always appreciated. Let's get this show started. Go grab your coffee or get your drink. Tell your family, friends, neighbors, and strangers the show is going to begin. We're going to have an in-depth conversation today with a PGA Master Professional. He has over 30 years of teaching experience and an author of a new book, Heaven's Nice, Been There Twice. Please welcome to the show, Tim Hovanchek. Tim, how are you?
Okay, Tommy, thank you very much. I really appreciate you having me on your show, Before the Lights. I've been under the lights, so I think I have a good little story for your folks out there.
That's awesome. I appreciate you taking some time. And before we get to your book, Tim, you grew up in Ohio and you helped your high school team to a state championship, and you have over 30 years of teaching experience. So when did you first start getting into the game of golf?
Well, I was blessed at 8 years old. I knew what I wanted to do, and I'm doing it today. But Tommy, I'm a little older. I got 40 plus years of experience in the teaching golf business. So it's amazing how fast time has gone by. Born in a pretty athletic family. My dad was a pro bowler, and my uncle Steve was a golf professional, and my aunt was a very good player. So I knew I was going to do something in sports at the age of 8, and I'm lucky to be doing it today.
Added another decade on the teaching experience, which is pretty cool. You're coached at Sierra College. You were a 3-time Big 8 Conference Coach of the Year and a 3-time Big 8 Conference and NorCal Championships. Tim, talk about that experience at Sierra College.
Well, Sierra College, I was the head professional at 12 Bridges Golf Club in Lincoln, California, which we opened up with a LPGA event, and the golf business, pretty fickle business, and I was there for about 7 years and had a nice run, but things changed, and had an opportunity to assist with Don Edgar, the head coach at the time. And matter of fact, the relation started by me offering to host Sierra College golfers out at 12 Bridges back in the day. And I always, the passion I have is coaching and teaching as far as in the golf business. A master professional, I did my thesis on developing the golf community, and I did 3 startups in the golf business. But really, when I got the opportunity to teach and coach at Sierra College, just down the road from 12 Bridges, it was really what I've been meant to do. And the good thing, I think the neat thing about Sierra College, and not to put a feather in my cap, but what I did there the most is the reason why these players were at Sierra College, because they weren't the best students. You know, a community college would take a C student or so and give them the opportunity to play golf. But when you're looking at D1, D2 type of schools and the travel and everything, you need to be higher than a 2-point, player. So
absolutely
3.0, 3 plus something. So I took the program from a so-so program to where we actually won 5 conference championships in a row, but 3 back-to-back-to-back NorCal championships. Our best finish was third at state. It's just tough to win a state championship when you got the six best teams in the Northern and Southern California competing. And you know how golf is. The guy that gets hot that day, that week, is the one that's going to walk away with the hardware.
True. I was going to say you had a 2-year sabbatical after suffering 2 near-death experiences, which the book is about, and we're going to jump into that quickly, but I want to kind of go forward just a couple of years, because in 2012 to 2018, you were at William Jessup in NorCal, which is an NAIA school, and put together 4 tournament titles, 18 top 3 finishes, and have since retired from there, Tim. But kind of go into your experience and how did you get the job at William Jessup after a 2-year sabbatical that we're going to get into?
Well, that was all an act of God. After suffering, like I said, the experience that we'll talk about in a minute, I was recovering from all the illnesses I had. I was really home rehabbing for about a year and a half. And an old friend of mine, a student, Craig Gandy, came to me and asked me if I was interested in coaching the William Jessup team. They had a coach there and they were making a change. And actually, I really applied for the job 4 years prior, but didn't get the job. And I just look back at that time that it just wasn't in God's time. And so I was just teaching and coaching at Sierra College. But William Jessup University, it's an NAIA school in Rockland, California. Started in San Jose about 80 years ago now. And the Jessup family is the one that started it. And it was a mediocre program. And during the interview process, Farnham Smith was the gentleman that hired me. You know, he said it wasn't about winning. It was about, having God first in your life and so on and so forth. And my answer to him was, God doesn't make losers. And if you're not using all your God-given talent, then you're wasting your life and not fulfilling the potential that you have. And that's why I think the programs at Sierra College and William Jessup excelled under my regime.
Now we're going to kind of get into your book, Heaven's Nice, Been There Twice. And if you would, Tim, talk about the 2 near-death experiences and where the idea for the book came from.
Well, the first experience was on the golf course, coaching with Sierra College up in Chico, California, Bidwell Park, March 9th of 2010. I can't believe it's been 10 years now. As a matter of fact, my battery and my defibrillator here, I got about another year on it before I got to replace it. So I can't believe how time is flying by. But the first incident, coaching my guys, were playing well. One of my players hit the 18th green in 2 par 5, gave him a thumbs up. And the next thing I remember is I woke up 2 days later with a scar from almost my chin down to my belly button. And I went down with a torn aorta. And I don't know if people know about the aorta, but less than 1% survive a ruptured aorta vein. And a kid from Santa Rosa brought me back after being gone for 90 seconds or plus, a minute or two. And amazing experience I had during my time of death then. And the book, Heaven's Nice, Been There Twice, gets into a little bit more detail of what I really experienced up in heaven.
And when was the second one, Tim?
The second one was June 16th. I went in for a checkup with my head surgeon at Sutter Hospital, Dr. Kincaid. Man is a miracle worker, and he calls me his miracle patient. And I don't know why I'm here, Tommy, but for some reason I'm still here. But the second incident, I'm in for a checkup, actually to get released to go back to work. I was feeling okay, not great, but as he was doing my checkup, he noticed some arrhythmia. Admitted me that day, 3 o'clock that night. I had two heart attacks and was gone for 18 minutes.
Wow.
And
18 minutes.
18 minutes. I really shouldn't be here. And by the grace of God, I'm here. And during that time, I heard the most amazing music you ever heard in your life, all instrumental. And also, I was on a cloud with a conversation with an angel and asked me a series of questions. And that's really kind of what the book's about. And it's just amazing, Tommy, that what I went through and why I'm still here. But the last question that, and I can give you a little bit of the mystery of the book, but the last question is really why I'm here, and that's to share the gospel of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Well, you have a plan left for sure. They wouldn't bring you back here if you didn't have a plan. When did you decide, Tim, then from all these experiences that I'm going to put this into a book for others to share it?
Oh boy, when you go to bed at night and you just toss and turn and thinking, why me? Why am I going through this? And Tommy, during this whole experiences of, the torn aorta, the heart attack, the most pain I had was when I fell. I broke my middle finger of my right hand, and I didn't even really feel that. And then after that was them breaking open my chest cavity, with the ribs and the surgery. And other than that, I was in peace and tranquility, and really didn't want to come back. And but the experience, that the conversation I had with the angel, I'm supposed to do what I'm supposed to do.
How long has it taken you to write your book?
Well, like I said, I went down March 9th of 2010. I had about a year of rehab and thinking about it and having a lot of quiet time. And the conversation I had with the angel is that I'm supposed to share my story. And if you don't know about Jesus, then I'm supposed to share that with you. And that's really how the book came across. And I met this gentleman, Sonny Mauba, who came in for a lesson at William Jessup University, and I was sharing my testimony with everybody, anybody I saw in grocery stores, ice cream parlors, with students, and I mentioned that Sonny, and Sonny's a non-believer, but kind of an entrepreneurial spirited type of guy. And the next day he calls me and says, "Tim, this story needs to be told." And Tommy, during everything that I went through, we were. I had a great career, but the golf business is up and down. We lived a nice life, nothing extravagant, very frugal type of people from Cleveland, Ohio, and we were almost going to lose everything, the house, my car, and but by the grace of God, provided miracles for us to continue to go. And I was, as I'm writing the book, it 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 was on and off, and it took me about 3 or 4 years to gather the material, and I met a friend of Sonny's, who Chris Messias was a writer for the Sacramento Bee. And Chris also co-wrote another book about a boy in Sacramento that was born blind in one eye and lost the vision of the second eye about at age 2 years old. And that book is called Echoes of an Angel. And when Chris gave me that book to show me his writing skills and things, it was amazing. I read it in less than a day and a half, and I just felt that Chris was the guy to help me get my story across. And I shared my story with Chris, and he sent me an email the next day with about 10, 12 pages of what he gathered out of it. It was amazing. And that's why the story needs to be told.
And we don't want to give too much away. As this recording we're not released yet, but it's going to be released June 1st. And Tim, where can people buy and get their hands on a copy of Heaven's Nice, Been There Twice?
Well, it can be online, Amazon. And I'll have a little bit more details for you, Tommy. I wish I had all those details for you, but we've been scrambling the last 2-3 months to kind of figure out what we were going to do. And part of the book was the woman that saved my life in the hospital. It's more than 5 years. Well, June 16, 2010. That's over 10 years ago. But 5 years ago, she filed for divorce, and I've been on my own since. But I have faith that it's all part of God's plan, and I am good. And I think it just gives me more time to share my story.
We're going to put links in the show notes so everybody can get a link to Amazon or whatever you can purchase the book. We'll make sure we have that for everybody out there as well. Tim, you're retired now, living in Arizona. How is retirement going?
This is a miracle, another miracle that I've been blessed. I ended up finding a fully furnished 2-bedroom condo here in Litchfield Park, a mile from the Wigwam Golf Resort, a 54-hole 4-star resort that I actually worked at back in the mid-'80s with the John Jacobs Golf School. And it's been great. I have family here. My cousins Sandy and Doug Hoffpower and their family has been great. One of my college buddy, Craig Brocious, is about an hour away. And a lot of old golf professionals that I knew back in the 80s when I was here in the Southwest section from 80 to 90.
I'm glad retirement's well. Sounds like health is doing okay as well, and you're being able to enjoy the nice hot weather in Arizona, maybe play a little bit of golf. I'm looking forward to reading the book. You and I met a few years back, and you were just in the middle of still putting it together, so I'm anxious to get my hands on and just read it as well. Tim, thanks for taking some time out today and joining me on the show.
Well, thank you very much, Tommy, and good luck with Before the Light. You're doing a great job with it, and I'm looking forward to hearing more podcasts as you go along.
Thanks, Tim. I really appreciate that. Everybody else, please, if you would, go to our Patreon page. It's patreon.com/Before the Lights podcast. You can become a member of our community there. Show notes is on our website, beforethelightspod.com. Follow us on Instagram at Before the Lights podcast. Thank you for listening. I'm Tommy Canale, and we will talk to you next time.